At the moment, all my cookies are out. Well, not all of them. I still have more to make. But there's nothing in the oven right now, so I don't have to worry too much. I have a few baking/cooking quick tips for you. Cooking quick tips. Oh, that's hard to say. Cooking quick tips. Okay, I have just a few moments that I'm gonna sneak in here and give you a few quick tips on cooking and baking, some things that I have often thought about during the years. Some I've done, some I haven't done, some I wish I did, some I wish my grandmother had done, and some I certainly wish that my mother had done. So start it now. If you're young, start it now. If you're older, start it now. Could be a lot of fun for your family down the line in a few years. All right, quick tips for baking and cooking. Number one, this may seem really silly to you, but number one, put your hair back. If you have long hair, just pull it back. Put it up in a clip or put it back in a little, what do you call those things? Little rubber bandy things, you know. Just get it out of the way. The last thing you want is for someone to bite into something like a cookie or some spaghetti sauce or something, and ooh, you know, they take out this long strand, and you know, you're probably you may be the only person with long hair they're gonna know. And you made it, so yeah, they're gonna know. So be very conscious of that. Be very conscious of that. Be very careful, and make sure that you do that. All right. Let's see. I can't even read my own writing. All right, next is bring out all your ingredients. Perhaps you know you're going to be baking something specific, something special that day. Bring out all the ingredients, get your recipe card out, and take out everything you need, from the flour to the sugar. And if you have if eggs are included, take them out about an hour, even 2, before you're going to bake them. Everything at room temperature will make a difference. Your butter, you can take out a day ahead, you can take out 2 days ahead, you can take out 3 days ahead, and it will be just fine. Promise. Just fine. Well, it is for me. I don't know. If you have weird butter, I can't help it, but it is for me. It's always fine. All right, let's see what I have here. Have all your measuring cups and all your measuring spoons out. Make sure that they are clean, tidy. There's nothing crusty on them or anything, because that would be really nasty. Just go through with your little hand and touch them all. Make sure, a nice clean hand, and make sure that everything is in good working order. There's no chips, there's no cracks, anything like that. And if there is, get yourself some new ones. They're really not all that expensive. And if it's around Christmas time, you can put these things on your Christmas list. All right. Cut. All right, if you're baking something and you're using the last of something, say the last drop of vanilla, okay, or lemon flavoring, or your flour, or your sugar, baking soda, baking powder, and you've emptied just the last of it in to your baking product, make sure that you go right away to your list, your little grocery list, no matter where you put it. I keep a little whiteboard inside my smaller pantry up on the back of the door. And as soon as I am in need of something, I run right over there, get the little marker out, write it down. And that's how I make my grocery list for the week. Any particular products that I need for any things that I'm making and that I know that I'm out of, I will put up on that board and snap with the camera. I will take a picture right before I leave out the door, and I've got my grocery list. So make sure that you take care of that, because that's really kind of important, guys. So do that. Also, keep an eye out on baking times. Like for instance, a cookie calls for bake 350 for 15 to 18 minutes. You know your oven. So I always err on the lighter side. I would go for, if something says 12 to 15 minutes, I would go for about 11 minutes, just to be safe. give it a check and make sure you set your timer. Always set your timer. If you don't have a timer on your stove, use your phone. Phones have timers. And if you don't have that, go and get one of those, nice little timers where you can crank it up, put it on whatever you need. And when it rings, go fly into your oven. And make sure, because all the time and the work and the money that goes into a baked good or a savory good, you don't want to burn it up. You can always add time, but you cannot take it away. So keep your eye out for that. And when you get just the perfect time for your particular oven, all ovens are different. They just are. Write it into your recipe. It's really a great idea. It's so nice to know that, hey, I could stick this tray of cookies into the oven for 12 minutes and they're going to come out, and they're going to come out beautiful. I don't have to keep putting them in for 2 minutes and then, another 1 minute more. Believe me, I've been there, done that, and I'm so tired of it. So please just write in whatever it is, the time that is going to work for you. Okay, and another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, when you make changes like that, get yourself a pretty little notebook, all right? Something like this is just so perfect. It's nice and thick. It's going to last a good long time. It's got this nice spiral binding here. It's very lovely, and you can get all kinds of designs, all kinds of fronts. And I think I paid $2.99 at Ollie's. If you have an Ollie's near you, you're very blessed. We love Ollie's. So go and get yourself a few of these, or just start out with one. See how you like it. And the reason for that is I have often thought how nice it would have been had my grandmother or my mother done something like this in the past, and have written down things like Christmas menus and Thanksgiving menus and Easter menus and birthday menus and graduation menus and the 4th of July menus, whatever is going on special in your home, in your family, and what was on the table. What did they serve Christmas after Christmas after Christmas? What did they serve? What did you serve in 2019? What did you serve for these fancy parties or casual parties for 2015? How about 1988? Okay, wouldn't you love to have a nice book right now that your grandmother made and wrote down everything that she had on her table for Christmas of 1949? Would that not be so, wouldn't that just make you happy? That would make me so happy. And I wish that my grandmother had done that. I wish that my mom had done that. She didn't. I have some memories, but not super detailed like I wish that they could have been. All right. You can list things like who was there, where it was held, whether it was in your home, your family's home, your grandparents' home, your aunt's home, a neighbor's home, at church, things like that. Could be a lot of fun. And list all memories that go with it, all memories that you have, whether it was a sweet, sweet time or, Uncle Johnny did something that nobody talks about. Write it down. Please write it down. It can only get funnier through the years. You know it. It can only get funnier. And anything about a particular recipe. Did you like the recipe? Was it too runny? Was it dry? Did you not have enough sauce on it? Was the cake that you baked just not right, or just the opposite? What was it, perhaps, in the recipe that made it extra special? Perhaps it was something you added to the recipe. You were just kind of experimenting, okay? And maybe it came out just absolutely perfectly fine. And you want to remember that for next year, because the next time you make it, you may not even forget that that's something that you did. So, yeah, these are just wonderful ideas that I just wanted to share with you. Things that I wish that I had been doing all along that you can start now in your family. So thanks. Okay, back to baking.